This is day one of seat whip practice.
This trick took 468 days to finally land. This is how I landed possibly one of the hardest and coolest unicycling tricks at the age of 15. The borderline crazy obsession I had with this trick, how hard this trick was to land, and the journey I had to go on to get there are all going to be covered in this video. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be leaving you guys with a little moral lesson that I learned going through this whole experience. In 2011, a guy named Adrien Delacroix, one of the most legendary Flatland unicyclists out there, he landed one of the most insane tricks for the first time in unicycle history. A trick that had only been pondered and thought about, but had never been done. This trick at the time was known as the seat whip.
To the Uniwhip!
When I saw this trick for the first time, my 13-year-old brain just exploded. Especially for somebody who didn't understand a lot of like technical names or lingo with tricks. Seeing a trick like this, no matter whether you were an expert or a beginner, you just knew that this was a big and really hard trick. But it all started for me in the year after, 2012. Upon one of my frequent revisits to watching this trick, I just found myself having a craving for it. Like, I wanted that trick. It looks so good. I wanted it so bad, in fact, that I became obsessed with it. And I mean obsessed. Like, strangely obsessed. As a 14-year-old who was pretty vocal about what he wanted and what he liked, and had only been riding for around 2 years, I made it pretty obvious to everybody in the community that I was going to set out and get this trick. People had their doubts, and so did I. I mean, I was small at the time, I could barely 540 unispin, I couldn't jump very high. I was so determined at the time to get this trick that I started making a video series called Seat Whips Day 1, where the goal was I was going to try seat whips or uniwhips every single day until I landed them. And this series only lasted 3 days. Sadly, I hit a wall. I remember the doubts finally sinking in. After trying for months, I was honestly making no progress. I wasn't good enough yet. I was still only 14. I didn't fully stop trying uniwhips, but I slowed down, like, a lot. And at times, I thought this was a trick for the far future, you know, forget about it, come back to it in like 5 years kind of thing. An obsession that kept me up at night, and a trick that I would, no joke, have dreams about like almost every other night. It was crazy. I would go to bed oftentimes like dreaming of uniwhips. In the dreams, I would be landing the trick or getting close or finding out a new secret technique. And then the next day when I woke up, I would get out of bed as fast as I could to go and try the new technique or try the new method that I had gotten in my head in the dream. But the dreams never stopped, and eventually I hit a growth spurt. I was progressing faster in the sport, and in a short period of time, I got way better and made a ton of progress. So, I got back on it. It was around this time in 2012 that a really famous rider, Tim Desmet, had landed the Uniwhip, the second guy in the world to land it, and I had seen that in one of his newest edits, and that really sparked my interest back for getting the Uniwhip again. Also guys, quick thought, if you like this kind of content and you want to see unicycling get more exposure, please consider hitting the like button. It helps push these videos out to more people, and hopefully spread the reach of unicycling. So, thank you for that. But it wasn't until the North American Unicycling Championships where something really big in this journey happened. This was a breakthrough event for me, to say the least. In between all the competitions at this event, I was trying the Uniwhips along with other riders trying their tricks. This trick was getting really, really heavy for me, and if there was any time for me to get this trick after over a year of trying it, it was right now at this event. And soon, it was the last day of the event. This was the final day I would have an opportunity to land this amazing trick in front of all these other riders that I looked up to. The pressure was really on at this point, and what felt like forever of just trying and everybody watching and me getting completely zoned out on this trick something crazy happened. I frickin' landed it. It was a huge moment for me and the community at the time, and I could not be any more stoked about it. Even after I had fulfilled the trick, I just kept going. I just kept obsessing over it. And eventually I lost count of how many times I had landed the whip after around 50 or 60. And that was around 2014 when I had really dialed in the technique for this trick and I had made it super consistent. I started out as barely being able to do this trick and having some really insane doubts in the beginning and feeling really discouraged, to having it super consistent and dialed in as my signature trick 2 years later. So guys, I want to leave you with something. The big lesson or moral of the story that I really learned, that I would love to just leave anybody with, unicyclist or not, riding, skateboard, BMX, whatever. If there's something you want, whether it's a trick or maybe even something in life, just go for it. Even if it seems impossible or you're doubtful or you're not making a lot of progress in the moment, well worth it, because what you're putting in right now is working towards you getting that trick eventually. If I didn't start practicing when I did, when I was small and could barely throw my unicycle, there's a good chance that I might not have been able to pull that off at NAUCC and had such, well, for me, life-changing experience. Possibly one of the greatest moments in my life. And that, my friends, is how I landed my signature trick, the Uniwhip. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you in next week's video. Peace.